Hello everyone and welcome to yet another Steam match of this Mordheim Summer Tournament organized by Marcus King. My name is Karond and we will be here looking at the playoffs on the round of 16, and this is the second game recorded today. We had here a quote from Kinopal going out against Marcus King in the first broadcasted match of the round of 16, and today we'll be looking at match number 8, which is Slaviour against Cantila, which is a little bit new here because, as we can see here from the tournament tree so far, Faro has beaten Chris Cardiac, Minyar has beaten Slaviour, and Marcus Kane beat Kieran Paul early today, and Clyde has beaten Crowley. Clyde facing Marcus Kane. But Cantila versus Slaviour is a little bit unique here because none of these two players actually won their group. They finished second, both of them. So we'll see what they can bring here. And as you can see from the tournament tree, it's kind of an interesting tournament tree. As the top here feature 4 mercenaries players taking out each other on the way to a semifinal spot. As well on the bottom, we see 4 Cult of Possessed players taking out each other for a semifinal spot. And the other 2 Cult of Obsessed players are already gone out, and there are no more mercenary players either. So this will mean that we have at least 1 mercenary player in the semifinal and 1 Cult of Possessed player in the semifinal. And the rest will be 2 other kinds of warbands, which is always fun because mercenaries and Cult of Possessed are by far the most popular warbands in these kind of tournaments. And it's noteworthy to say that no single warband except the mercenaries has ever won a level 10 tournament. So that's also something to look out for. See if someone can beat that, break that pattern. But today, Cantila against Slaviour. So how have they been doing so far in the tournament? Well, Slaviour has been having a little bit of a rough time, having been defeated by Faro in a sort of exciting game where he made a few mistakes. He recovered quickly by beating Quist, and then in an unceremonious way dispatched Kirimpa in a very short game. Uh, he will still be the favorite here against Cantila. Cantila, who had this specific path in um, beating Crowley, losing against Talon, and beating Crowley yet again. Crowley, who's also out of the tournament now. Let's see. So he has more experience facing the Cult of the Possessed in this particular tournament, but the experience of Slaviour should win out. What we know of the Warband so far, we haven't really. Well, we do know a lot of what Slaviour will be bringing, which is Doomweavers and melee resistance and magic resistance and so forth, and a few Brethren and some Dark Souls, and he's been doing relatively well with them, especially his Possessed unit, which is very heavy on the damage. Cantilla, though, we do know that he might bring out a spawn. He has used that before with 20 accuracy, and we know that most of his units are very much geared towards heavy armor and being as tanky as possible, but not producing too much damage. So we'll see how that works out for him. And we'll say that Slaviour is a favorite here and should probably win. 80% chance against 20, all depends on the map. And it will be very interesting. The winner here, as we know, will be facing off against whoever wins between Karond and Jekyll. Also an interesting game to watch out for. I think the players are about to start now, and we wish them both good luck, and we'll see what we can talk about during the game and fill in the blanks here of what's happening. Best of luck to both players. Alright, here we are, and we got Hunter in the Darkness. Both warbands are scattered randomly around the area, scared by something. This is gonna be a fast slugfest, and it might be favorable to both warbands. We don't really know what Cantila is bringing, but we had made our educated guess, and initiative is going to play a big part here. The heavy armor of Cantila might be the downfall of Cantila, we will see. Slaviour obviously having good initiative, and he really planned for it against Kirimpa. See if he's done so this game as well. Globadier for Cantila starting off here. And the Cantila has indeed brought his spawn. This means that this spawn could probably pick anything it wants to destroy in the first turn. Of course, he really wants Weapon of Destruction on that spawn, and If he wants that, he has to delay twice, giving the brethren a chance to escape, but it might be a worthwhile sacrifice here. Apologize for the picture, it's always like this when we cast live and seeing the game through Steam. Not that much we can do about it. Alright, switching weapons for the Globadier here. Don't know what he's about to do. Switching to shurikens. Probably going for some kind of poison. No poison, just doing 23 damage. Completely unnecessary. That Globadier needs to move away or he's gonna get attacked pretty soon here by these Dark Souls. Bit lucky there, 10%, nice though, getting a critical hit, reducing that Dark Souls capability of doing damage by 10%, well 10% hit chance less here. We watched the game from Slaviour's perspective, by the way. Second game of the round of 16 that we have recorded. Seems to be focusing on Karond here. Dark Soul of... oh, that's pretty dangerous here. Of course, this Slaviour is gonna go into a building here, and most of his units start in a building, which is an incredible advantage against his spawn, giving him very few options to go in here. And if he can take down the Magister is so crucial in any kind of game with the Cult of the Possessed, and if he can take this guy down with the high damage unit of Possessed here, we will be seeing carnage, and that's exactly what he's going for. Going to look for that Magister, going to tie him down, and that's unlucky. Something is blocking his path. It is a Warp Guard. Warp Guard with 285 hit points, which means that this Warp Guard probably has an injury, minus 10 wounds. Failed his fear test. Not too great of a hit chance here, and he does start in a low stance. Slaviour misses the first attack here, see if he takes some damage in turn, minus 30% hit chance. Yes, he does hit him. Is that worth it? You won't get another attack off. But you could have got another attack off if you had used a normal attack and Adrenaline Rush. You could have gotten 2 attacks off. You could also have used those 2 blue pills to give you Madcamp Mushrooms, which would have made your first Blood Offering hit. Might have saved you from the dodge, but who knows. Would have been worth a try at least. Let's see what this Globadier can do before the spawn is activated. A headshot is interesting. This mutant doesn't have too much in the way of armor. And stun resistance only 10%, so a headshot is a natural thing here. And depending on what the spawn does here, he might have to sacrifice a brethren, but it could be worth it. His own Magister is a little bit exposed here on top of the building though. Yeah, that's not a good move by Slaviour. If the spawn goes around here, he could potentially trap 2 characters here. But he's looking for the extra hit chance. Focusing on damage, missing his first attack. He doesn't want to stay in the open, so that might be why he is neglecting here to do the headshot. Because he doesn't want to go out with anything that to kill him. Doing some 100 damage or thereabouts so far. I do wonder where this Globadier is gonna go next. Like, yes, you could stand there and you would be safe, but the spawn can't reach you. spawn, and he could potentially trap 2 characters, so yeah. The spawn obviously needs to have mastered exhaustion or really good movement from Cloud Feet. See, badass monster. Pretty poor name. The warband name is decent for Cantila to feel. If you want to comment on that, Baleful Inquisitors. Pretty nice name, and I also like the name of Slaviour's warband here, Carnival of Broken Art, which he brings forth by having all of his units in a different color, like the Carnival of Chaos. See if we can spot any mutations. We see an extra arm at least. What's he gonna do? Is he gonna attack before getting the weapon construction? Yes, he is, and it goes right past the dodge chance here. And we see an extra blade, which is plus 5% crit chance. Extra arm blade. Doing significant damage here on this brethren. And missing his last attack. Of course, the Magister of Cantila here is probably an Order Magister, it always is when it comes to using spawns. Alright, what can this brethren do? Pretty good choice, focusing down this nasty mutant before the mutant gets to move. If he's careful now, he could actually shoot 3 times if he wants to. I think he's going for that, reloading and then going with introspection and staying there, staying put here. Being vulnerable but getting off the last little bit of damage. Or using adrenaline rush and moving away. Also a good move. 2 hit points remaining. Bit of bad luck, yeah. Where are you gonna position yourself so that you are able to disengage? The Dark Soul is gonna pummel you as well as the mutant, most likely. Obviously, the game plan here of Slaviour is gonna be to stay in the buildings and trying to do as much damage as you can and limit the possibility of the spawn doing damage. And wow, that's another lucky hit. This Dark Soul has not had a good day. Still, I think that Slaviour was expecting this. We know that Cantila has been playing with spawn from the victory screenshots for a few games, and Slaviour has no doubt planned his warband around this, and we'll see how it turns out. A good choice for that mutant with only 2 wounds now would be actually to go up there, because then he would be out of range of everything that Slaviour can throw at him and still live. Don't walk into any traps though, they could give you damage. Or you're gonna focus on the vulnerable brethren here, but I really feel that you should go up there and kill off the Dark Soul. Let's see what Cantila does. Seems to be having an idea here for the brethren that's really hard by the spawn. Look up at the top left corner, we see that there is a slight morale advantage to Slaviour here. We'll see if that can be important in this game or not. First blood is gonna be Cantila here. With a little bit of luck surviving that. So he chooses to finish off this brethren and picking up the 2 consumable that he was carrying. Yeah, pretty nice. So 32 hit points, it's still not gonna save you, like most of the damage here from Slaviour does more than 30 damage. But preserving that mutant might be important. Doesn't reduce your morale, gives you a little bit of punch later on if you can hide him and then bring him out whenever he's really needed and then move away. Good spot to be protected at. Really don't like that move there. But, can this spawn reach the other brethren? Possible. Very possible. Do we see another mutated arm here? I think we do, right? That might have been Ripper. We will see when he makes his attacks. I wasn't attentive enough to see that from the first attacks. I guess the brethren. See if there are any poison shanks or so forth. Probably gonna go for the brethren. So how will Slaviour deal with this? Now that Cantila has a slight lead. Natural choice for a tank like this, going into the Marauder, right? Which can't disengage, so holding that character in place. The burning field and saving 3 red pills. Pretty good. Move here by Cantila. This is gonna be interesting. He's probably have to jump down here, and he's gonna be the main target for Slaviour's assault, if possible. If you can even move down here. And that's dangerous. That's really dangerous being close to 2 units here. He's gonna be chased down, and he wants to stay somewhere in the open where his spawn can support him. And here comes the order, most likely. Weapon of destruction plus order. Success. Does Slaviour have enough firepower to bring down that exposed Magister? I'm guessing that he does, but having the Marauder here... okay, so we see 2 poison resistances, that means 2 arm mutations. Destroyer and Smasher. So Smasher reduces stun resistance, and Destroyer removes your ability to do damage, 9% of melee damage, and it also goes by a little bit more armor, 12%. While Smasher is providing you with minus 20% poison resistance if you fail it. Just making sure that both of those go through. Searching for the Magister, where is the Magister? Alright, so he found him. Can he reach the Magister? He wants to. He wants to hurt this unit as well. It's a rough spot for Slaviour here. Cantila managed to preserve his mutant, and having lost 1 brethren and soon to lose another brethren. Fuddling fumes giving more range. Not that useful. Ranged hit chance. Searching up the Marauder here for weapon of destruction to push through this Dark Soul, which we don't really know why Cantila here entered Web of Steel. He probably wasn't thinking, because that mutant is armed with Slicer, going straight through any kind of Web of Steel or parry. That is probably the only option that that particular Dark Soul has available to him. Alright, he's waiting to use his own orders, waiting for the Blood Offering to kick in on that Dark Soul. What kind of damage can you do? You're a bit far away from the action, aren't you? Maybe you could hold up the spawn, enabling your Globadier to push through. I think the Globadier is gonna gun for the mutant anyway, but we'll see. Might not be worth going in here. I don't know why he has a blue sticky sludge. And probably might indicate that he has more of them to stack. Alright, going in here against the warp guard. 2 against 1. Not that great of a hit chance. He has a tracking lure, but I don't think he is able to use it there because that rat is trapped in a corner. Just want to finish him off so he can free the possessed to go after the Magister, no doubt. Nice hit here. Maybe he will let the spawn roam free and don't give him anything more, just keep inside the buildings and trying to preserve his units. But he has this issue of he needs to get Magister. Well, he doesn't need to, but killing the Magister severely limits Cantila, and that's gonna be a prime target for Slaviour. And we saw an indication of that when he was looking up where the Magister is, and he knows that it's a priority target. Point is obstructed. Can he go down another path? Yes, he can. And this Dark Soul is probably going towards the spawn here. Trying to tie him up. He has 50% armor, and even though the spawn bypasses at least 12%, it's wow. Not wanting to charge here, but could probably do a bit of damage. Any kind of damage helps. Going for adrenaline rush and a fell attack, I believe here. Which is good. I mean, if you do the damage here, like 40 damage on spawn for 30 damage on your henchman, that's always a worthwhile trade, considering that the spawn is basically 2 heroes here. Removing dodge chance. Is that something you want to do? Yeah. Or you're gonna attack. I feel like you could just attack here. That's not worth 30 HP. Fine. Lowering the dodge chances here a little bit. That might indicate that he wants to go in with someone else as well on that spawn. Looking for a charge. Skipping this Dark Soul later. 18 damage is almost nothing. He needs a critical. Remember that this Dark Soul has suffered 2 critical so far, so it's minus 20% chance to hit. So he is pretty stuck here, and considering that Cantila's units seem to have good melee resistance, I don't think this Dark Soul is going to do too much damage. Now it's down to 30% as chance of hitting. Yes, this Dark Soul is a lost cause. The longer he can hold that warp guard up, the better. And if I were Slaviour here, I would probably use up as much of my consumables as possible. Okay, order quick casting. Trying to get off a cheaper destruction, no doubt, on the possessed. Failing that, bit of bad luck. What is Slaviour gonna do now? Going for 2 orders without open of destruction. He needs to have the poison resistance check fail to give him more chance of hitting. No such luck. Still doing a respectable amount of damage on that tanking warp guard. Let's see here. I'm gonna use up the consumables pretty quick, see what use they are. The Drought of Clarity would have helped a lot with his stuns. Gonna use that up. There's almost no need to attack here, right? Yeah, just be annoying. Keep him at bay. Even though that Dark Soul is probably gonna be shot at. Finishing off the Brethren. It's probably the fault here by Cantila. Making it 2-0 in kills. Another worthwhile option might be to actually go into ambush around the spawn somewhere so that the spawn can't be attacked by another character here by Slaviours. But I think it's way too tempting for him to go for the Brethren, and I think that's exactly what he's gonna do. He could just finish the Brethren off and then go into an ambush. Bit confusing here that those two Dark Souls look the same, belong to two different players. So 2-0 to Cantila. The game is still not decided here. One of the heroes is pretty damaged of Cantila's, and of course one of the Dark Souls of Slaviour is going to be down as well. But if he keeps the buildings, there's not much the spawn can do, evening out the odds. And we also have a Warp Guard about to die as well from Cantila. A little bit of damage helps. I wouldn't go into an adrenaline rush here, but Cantila might. Good choice. Alright. Mastered Insult, very nice. And Mastered Blood Offering. That's respectable damage here. And quick decision, yes. This Dark Soul is gonna take a lot of damage, and this is the kind of character that you want to get into the spawn. Doing a lot of damage. The Magister could probably order this character and kill him in the next turn. And unlike the Dark Soul, going into Web of Steel here for Slaviour would be a pretty good deal. Drought of Clarity, Etheric Elixir, he's probably fearing some stun attacks here. And that's probably based on his games against Pharaoh, where he got stunned a lot. So covering up that weakness. Succeeding at the all alone check, pretty good all alone check by the way. Very tanky character this. I would focus on the Possessed here, doing a little bit of damage on him, which is going to be useful later on. He's only wearing cloth, so much better choice. Also a good choice here, burning them, doing the most damage he can for his red pills before going down. And using up his other consumables, so he doesn't leave Slaviour with anything. Yeah, time to spend potions before I die, very good choice. Slaviour was thinking the same thing with his Dark Soul. Not a good choice here. If he has Adrenaline Rush I would use it, he doesn't. Because you're going down anyway, so the next turn's damage is not going to affect you. Alright, the Doomweaver here. Will he go out of this place and maybe have a Pestilence idol next to the spawn to increase the survivability of this Dark Soul? Or is he going out and killing Corval from behind Can probably do both here. Bit of bad luck from Slaviour. So what is? Oh, you could also go with blood spell here, killing off the mutant. Very possible. If you want to open yourself up to attack. I know the mutant is a tempting target, but you should probably just focus down Dark Soul, freeing up your mutant, and then put down an Idol of Pestilence, making everyone survive. If you put it a little bit more forward, you could probably reach his other Dark Soul, and you're not doing that, and you're failing it anyway. Ouch! 35% chance less to cast spells, 20% chance to cast spells, and hit in melee and all of that kind of stuff. Don't go for blood offering, you don't need it. Unnecessary, and now he's gonna get a parry attack back. He has one Web of Steel attempt left. And he's gonna succeed at that too. And he would have had another attack here if he... Alright. Gonna sacrifice 30 HP to do 39 on a henchman. It's not a bad trade.
A new round
has
either. Started.
It's not very beneficial for Slaviour here. Hopefully his Globadier can kill off that Dark Soul and then move in and kill off the mutant when it's his turn. To even out the odds here. I bet this Globadier is really tempted to attack the Dark Soul. No, he's not. Alright. Doing such low damage, we know that he doesn't have a Rune of Perforation on those shurikens at least. Probably going for hit chance. We haven't seen too much of him. He managed to score a critical hit, which was a bit lucky in the Dark Soul. But the damage was pretty low. He must have some kind of functionality besides throwing shurikens like this. He has poison or strangling globes or pretty much anything to make him useful. And we are waiting to see what that is. If he goes too much forward, he might be killed by the Marauder. So he needs to be careful there. Yes, strangling globe. Not a bad choice, but wow, keeping up with the lucky hits here. Another critical hit. Wow, Slaviour's wow, so lucky here from Cantila. He has 9% chance to do those kind of things. And remember that he's still suffering from flare. Slaviour, that is. That doing. Yeah, Slaviour is despairing. He doesn't seem to have too many poultices. He would know that himself. I think this Globadier might die here. See if he can be a bit lucky and kill off this Warp Guard, and he can move in and really hurt that Globadier, since the possessed have the movement to do so. Alright, he needs a bit of luck here. Nice. And Slicer kicked in, giving me another 9% hit chance. Let's see if he's a good streak of rolls here by Slaviour, and he needed that. He needed that to get back into the game. He's lost 2 henchmen, and let's see. What is the plan here? What is the plan? He can't really reach the Magister. Well, he might be able to wait, because he has Master Exhaustion. We know that from previous games. He's now thinking, how much movement do I really need and can I reach him? I have 5 blue pills. Yes, I can probably reach him. And I hope she's going for that instead of going for a Dark Soul or something like that. It's not only about getting to the Magister, it's also about locking the Magister down, because you probably put him right next to a wall. Exactly. This is really what Slaviour wanted. Now the Magister can't really move away from here, and that means he can't support the spawn. So he will do a lot less damage now. He will have one more turn of Weapon of Destruction, and no more orders and no more Weapon of Destruction here. So pretty good choice here by Slaviour. See if he can go on and kill that Dark Soul. Probably can here. Do an aim. Make sure, or trusting luck. Trusting luck, and it fails. This is important because it can free up the Marauder, and giving no chance at all for that Dark Soul to act if you can kill him now. So it would have been worth yeah, I don't know what he's doing here. Yeah, he's going for the mutant, no doubt, but yeah, can he reach him? He should be able to. Doesn't make sense. Why are you poisoning the unit if you're still gonna kill it? Because that poison cloud was destined for that mutant. Slaviour is evening it up here and putting his own Globadier in a risky spot. It's not gonna protect you. We will see if what Cantila can do about it. He can probably go there with his own Globadier and shoot the heck out of him. And given his string of luck with that Globadier, he might have some luck here with this particular Globadier, who only has 23% critical hit chance, critical hit resistance. Don't really know what Cantila has for critical hit chance, but give him 1 or 2%. Okay, this is gonna be crucial here. Will the spawn hit? Yeah, probably with this Mastered Insult. He needs to keep the spawn here. It's not going well for starters. Don't know what the hit chance here is. There we saw it briefly. %. That's really good for Slaviour. We need another miss to survive this, and that's a big fail. So that means the spawn is probably going to reach the possessed, and that means that the possessed will also go down to the orders from the Magister directed at the spawn, and Cantila seems to be going right for that. He can't really reach him, and he doesn't have exhaustion. Good lord. That could have been GG right away. Can he reach him? No, he can't. He can't. That's why exhaustion is so crucial. I could have won Cantila the game right here and there. Right there. Now it's gonna be tougher. That Magister might pull off a little bit of damage, but Possessed is gonna finish him off and go run off, into a building or something to be protected, with a few hit points that the Possessed will have left. but he's tempted to shoot at the damaged Dark Soul here, freeing up the Warp Guard. And if he does that, the Warp Guard could go into the Globadier and tie him up. One hero and one henchman down for Cantila, and 3 henchmen down for Slaviour. Slaviour still has a morale advantage, although slight, and he has taken a lot of open wounds here on some of his characters, which is gonna really hurtful. But it's a bit unlucky that he couldn't finish off this Dark Soul. See what kind of damage this Dark Soul would do before going down, but he would have freed up the Marauder. I think the Marauder is probably going for the Globadier, because the Globadier stopped right next to a wall and he could tie that character down as well. Seems to be spreading out his damage here, hoping for a critical hit, which he had 1% chance of. Probably going to shoot again here. Just sowing the field for his own Globadier to go in and do the real damage. Might be able to finish off the Globadier here. We'll see. It depends on what Slaviour does. And I think Slaviour has a good enough understanding that he needs to tie down the Globadier of Cantila with his Marauder. First things first, how much damage will this 63% chance miss cost Slaviour? How much damage can this Dark Soul pull out before dying? Good choice. Make him survive probably another hit. Well, depends on who hits him. Remember that the Marauder does a lot of damage when it has Blood Offering on him, which he won't have now. But it could be that the Magister here orders this Dark Soul down. 26 damage, that's what it cost him. 28 damage. Bit of lucky here from Cantila hitting both hits. And that's a good choice, I think. Yeah, just pull out as much damage as you can. Hope that you hit another time. Really shouldn't, but yeah, it was worth a try. It was a good choice by Cantila here. He knows that this Dark Soul is destined to die, and putting on as much damage as possible is always good. And entering a dodge stance here, which makes it somewhat useful against the Marauder and his inevitable Blood Offering. What kind of damage can you put out on this possessed unit facing front of his attacks? One thing, wow, that paid off handsomely, reducing his offensive pills by 2. I should have 3 red pills left, which is enough for another attack. Putting off Chains of Chaos and missing that. So he's gonna be facing at least 2 attacks here. Which is not enough to make him die. We'll see what Slaviour can do to finish off the Magister. He's clearly started it and he doesn't want Magister to survive this. So we'll see what he can do. He needs something to go over there. Might send the Marauder there and have the Doomweaver tie down Globadier. Speeding things up here. Doesn't want to attack into that. He has 3 red pills remaining in a parry stance. Gonna Gonna face a counterattack here.
Yeah.
15% chance to hit, yeah, it's not gonna happen. Yeah, it was not a good chance anyway. Crucial turn here for Slaviour coming up. He has 4 units in a row, and he needs to turn these things around here. Probably wants to avoid the fire. And he is able to. See if he has more luck here. 75% chance to bring this home. Going for the Marauder. Yes, he succeeds here. Good for Slaviour. He's gonna do that one more time. He's gonna finish off this. Remember, he still has Blood Offering on him now. Lucky for Cantila. Gonna try another one, no doubt. He only had 1 dodge chance, and you can finish him off while he still has Blood Offering on him. Okay, what are you doing? What are you doing here? Don't be indecisive. Still doing Weaver here. I'm going for another order, hopefully on the Marauder here. Could kill him off, and it does just that. Freeing up the Marauder and the Doomweaver, and to do quite a bit of damage. We'll see what he can do. If he has a lot of movement on that Marauder, he could reach and kill off the Mage there, which might be very worthwhile here. He wants, like, he has the morale advantage, and if he can, moving indoors to avoid the spawn. I should have probably climbed up there, but this is fine as well, as long as he doesn't hit the fire, and he doesn't. Don't spray with too much. 1 hit point remaining. 1 hit point remaining. Go with the Sticky Sludge. It will reduce the movement of this warp guard for a few turns. Oh, fine. Don't do that. You can tie down the Dark Soul that was tying down your own Dark Soul that died, which might be worthwhile. It doesn't matter what angle you engage him from, you're still not gonna disengage here. I go for a strong blow, he has parry. No, he doesn't have parry, alright. I wouldn't go with Adrenaline Rush. It's a risky business, like you have 55. It's not good enough. Like, even if you hit, you're doing 30 damage, so you're exchanging. That was a poor exchange for Slaviour here. Okay, what is the plan? What is the plan? Alright, you're gunning straight for that nasty little Globadier. I wouldn't charge him, I would use Blood Offering instead. You don't have Adrenaline Rush to cope with a miss of the Blood Offering here, so just finishing him off. Good hits, gonna be even more hurtful attacks. He's not gonna die from this, but it's gonna be pretty close to it. And of course the Doomweaver could come up here and finish off the task, and then tying down the Draught of Clarity is always good here. He has done resistance of 28 right now. Could use that. Make sure that he's not stunned. This duel is probably in Cantila's favor, especially since all the damage has been dealt to this particular Dark Soul of Slaviour. But it's still a very even game, and I think the Slaviour should focus on the morale here, and he seems to be what he's doing, taking down the heroes, and if you can get the leader and force a route test, it's game over. Finishing off the Globadier means that if you finish the Magister, Cantila won't have any unit left that could succeed at the route test. So if he just takes the banner, he could win this. Let's see if that's correct. 36, 38 morale left for Cantila. If he loses the hero, it's minus 22. If he loses the Magister, it's minus 26. If he loses the banner, it's minus 16. Yes, it's definitely possible, and it's very likely that that's how it's gonna turn out. If he can survive, of course. That Possessed is not gonna finish off the Magister, so he needs to do something, and this Doomweaver is almost dead. He could go and finish off the Globadier, which is a very, very good choice. Dying in turn, but it's worth the sacrifice. Just making sure, because the Globadier had a little bit of a gap, so it's possible that he could flee or disengage from that. And you really don't want that happening. Alright, picking up the Idol. Is he going for the Magister? I think he is. See if he can reach him. Does he have exhaustion? It's kind of critical here. I don't think he can reach him otherwise. Can he? Alright, gonna finish off the Globadier instead. That's a simple attack, and then it's dead. Minus 22 morale, and we see here 64 out of 64. That's gonna be a round test. Yep, just enough morale for a check. What kind of leadership does our friend Cantila have on his Magister? Wow, this is gonna hurt a lot. Seems that like the RNG is turning in Slaviour's favor. Hopefully he can make a crit here and he would have finished that guy off. He was not so lucky this time.
A new round has started.
Yeah, that hurt. That was a lot of damage. So he gets 2 attacks here. It's not gonna do enough damage, but it's... The Globadier is pretty far off, so he can't support this attack either. He knows that he's in a dodge stance, I suppose. And that's failed! It doesn't really matter if you go with a blood offering or a normal attack here, it doesn't matter at all. Might go and use up your consumables, it's not gonna do you much. 81. Yeah, you know that this Possessed is gonna die. So what do you do? That was a poor choice. I mean, you're not gonna get a second chance here. You can probably reinforce this route test check by killing off that Brethren. But you're going straight. He can't support him. He has good movement. And he has exhaustion, so it's very possible here that he can reach and kill off the Magister and that would actually be game over, and Slaviour would win. If he can get the Magister here, he has won, because you can't succeed at a round test if you have no one who can make it. So let's see here. Doing a bit of damage, good for Slaviour. Gonna reload that. Oh, he's not gonna get more shots off. He's gonna get one more shot, and then he's gonna use a poison globe here. Let's see if he's lucky. 71% chance, and that could kill him off. Getting in a poison now, and that's gonna be it. He has 7. Yeah, this is gonna be it. Let's see if he succeeds the poison check. He does not. And that's game over, and Slaviour has won. Congrats to Slaviour. Pretty interesting game, looking like Cantila could have taken it, but that was not to be, and Slaviour once again proves that experience wins games, and so it is also in this game. See how that turns out. Slaviour
You
won
have
5-0
proven
Cantila.
yourself worthy of the dark blessings of chaos. Each victory you render to the Shadow Lord brings you that much closer to your destiny.
We will come back and see Slaviour's next game, which will be against another Cult of Obsessed players in the round of 8. We wish them luck there, and thank you for watching this particular game. See you for the other games of the round of 16.